2, 1. Yo, man, y'all know what the fuck going on, man. Wave shit, man. We back at it again. Another week. Finna drop some knowledge for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who we got in the building. Who we got right now, man?
You got Mr. Consistent. Welcome to the Control the Tide podcast, where we try to let you control your own narrative, create your own story. We try to drop some nuggets of wisdom to get your mind in the right place. If your mind's in the right place, everything else will follow suit. You know what I mean? Make sure you go on Wave TV on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Drop a comment too.
All that, you know what I'm saying?
So today's topic is going to be validation. Validation. Where does validation come from? That comes from within. So when you think of validation, what does validation mean to you, Stone?
Validate, like what you mean?
Like, what's the definition of validation to you? What is it like when
Validation. I guess like when you want to feel like complete or like fulfilled, maybe, or like you want like acceptance from like maybe like whether that be the public, yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
That's a good definition. That's actually pretty close to what I'm about to say. So validation is like an understanding of who you are, what your limits are, and what your expectations are. Validation can sometimes be misconstrued as approval. It's not approval, it's an understanding of who you are. So I would say for validation, like when I think of like when I'm doing validation, I try to see like what like I look at all my internal experience, all my internal external experiences, like my past, even like my future, my present. So sometimes, like I say, our past kind of dictates our validation. Like sometimes we look for validation through our past. We try to fix that validation that we lacked or that we had by trying to do something. Say like even now in this day and age, it's social media age, we all looking for validation, but we're thinking of validation as approval instead of understanding. We all want that understanding from everybody else, like of who we are.
Right.
And we want people to understand who we are as well, so we won't get judged.
Mm-hmm.
But we shouldn't really we shouldn't look for validation from others. We should look for self-validation, because self-validation causes growth. If we understand our experiences, we can grow from them, you know what I mean? Instead of disassociating ourselves, because I say that when we're having validation, self-validation means we have to be aware of our surroundings, what we're going through. Because sometimes, if we're going through a tough time or situation, we kind of disassociate ourselves
Right.
from the situation, try and like push or suppress like the bad memories, the bad feelings we are, but you gotta embrace that. You need to understand what you're going through, because like, say for example, if I'm feeling sad or whatever, I won't understand how to like grow from that experience if I'm just numbing myself to it, or if I'm doing something to get my mind off of it.
Right.
You can't always do that. You gotta feel that.
You gotta feel it. Really be in tune
That
with
pain.
with the pain. Turn that shit into fuel.
Yeah.
Facts.
But I would say even like with validation, like for me personally, I had to like learn from my past. Really, like I had to look at my past and feel like and understand like the emotions I felt during that moment. Like for me, I was never like a person. I hated arguments. I hate confrontation. I had to understand like why was I like that. Like every time I got to an argument, I would kind of just get quiet. It wasn't be like being like submissive or anything. It was be like I don't want to deal with that.
Suppressing your emotions.
Suppressing my emotions. I was trying
Instead
to avoid
of expressing
them.
how you really feel.
And that kind of brought me into situations where I was just like, dang, I'm avoiding who I know. I know who I am. I don't like conflict, but I don't want to express like how I truly feel. Like if I'm pissed off, I don't want to. I'm just like, nah, I just dead that. I'm like, nah, I don't feel. I just like zone out.
Yeah.
Disassociating myself. And I gotta realize, like, you know.
I kind of used to be the same way though. Like, I used to avoid confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, man. Probably some women out there that know.
Well, because, as a man, you kind of like, we've been taught that showing emotion is weakness. It's really not, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's really strength, because, like, you don't want to be seen like a robot, like you don't care.
Right. So, I feel two ways about that, because, like, especially when dealing with women, like,
you can't be, I know
you can't be hella soft.
You can't be
like,
hella
you can't
soft.
Be hella, like,
but you got to still be vulnerable.
You got to be able to just express your emotions.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be able to express how you feel in a certain manner. Like, I feel like you don't have to like argue, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to like raise your voice. You don't have to like be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can express how you feel if things aren't making you happy. You know what I'm saying? If you're not liking a certain situation,
say it.
But there's ways to go about saying it, and there's ways to go about expressing it to be able to get the next person to like understand where you're coming from, I feel like.
That's for real though, cause like I can say for me when I used to get into an argument, I wouldn't be getting all mad, but I would just be like, for me, I've always tried to be like the calm and cool person. Like when we get into an argument, like even with anybody I'm with, whether it's a friendship or relationship, I've been like, I try to express my emotions, but then at certain times, like when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing like with a negative circumstance that causes you to shut off, you're just like, man, I'm tired of arguing. I'm just gonna stop talking, bro. I'm just gonna let them get their stuff off. But it's like, you can let them get their stuff off, but once they're done, it's your turn. Like, okay,
Like, bro, I don't agree.
I don't agree. You can respectfully disagree with somebody.
Exactly. That's what people don't understand, man. You can fucking see. I'm a guy. I like to debate. You know what I'm saying? If I feel strongly on the topic, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna state my opinion and how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand, like, okay, if I'm wrong, if we having a conversation right now, and I'm saying some shit that I'm completely wrong about, and you know that I'm wrong, I hate motherfuckers who like don't speak up on that shit, or like who would just let me be wrong. Like, I don't respect people like that. Like, if you feel like, if you know that I'm wrong, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like you should speak on that shit, like, and to help me, you know what I'm saying? So I don't goddamn be out here spreading misinformation and wrong information and shit.
So you want people around you that's gonna
hold me accountable.
Like, basically they gonna give you constructive criticism. Like, if they know you wrong, if they feel like you wrong, they gonna give it to you. They're not just gonna let you say whatever you are.
Right. Just be like, yes man. I hate fucking yes men, bro. Like, who just like, you know what I'm saying? If you see some shit, if you got a perspective on that shit, man, speak up. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying that I gotta agree or do what you say, but at least fucking say that shit. Like,
give some input, cause cause if you do that, I say when you give people input, and if whether they receive it or not, it's still in their mind. Like, they still gonna be in the back of their head, and that causes growth. Like,
on God, bro. Like, sometimes you just gotta drop gems for people. You just gotta like drop little seeds. You know what I'm saying? Little jewels. Cause like, bro, they might not even get it at that time, but nigga, it might be 2 years later. They be like, damn, bro, I remember your ass told me, goddamn, woo woo woo, and that shit helped change me 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? But like, shit, I feel like that shit is important, man. No cap, having people around you that can, like, you know what I'm saying, check you.
Cause I could say for this, the people around you also helps with your own self-validation, because like
you need the right type of people.
You need the right type of people around you, because if you like. I say with y'all, like with my friends, like my group of friends, I can say with my group of friends, they understand who I am and they push me towards that purpose. You don't want nobody around you that's pushing you towards something else that you're not supposed to be doing. Like,
right.
Say, like,
some negative shit.
Some negative things, and then I'm not pushing you. Like, if you always doing some childish things, you never gonna learn how to grow up, I could say.
Fair. We talked about that last week. Putting away that childish shit. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that last week. That's facts, though.
Now let's talk about something else. Narcissism. All right. Let me ask you this question, Stone. Are you a narcissist?
Shit. I done had people say that shit, so I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I done had people say that. Like, or I done had people, like, give me that type of energy. Like, oh, this nigga think he goddamn just the shit or some shit. But like,
I could say with narcissism, there's a difference between narcissism and self-confidence.
Right.
Because you can be self-confident, you can also be a narcissist. Like, narcissist, I feel like...
And I think I might teeter that line. So I might be a narcissist, man. I'm not even going to sit up here and say that I'm not. Because shit, I might be. If I am, check me.
I feel like when you're a narcissist, like you just feel like you can do no wrong in a sense. Like, okay. I feel like when you're a narcissist, like you look in the mirror, it's like you don't see your flaws. Like, you're ignoring, like, you know you have flaws, but you're not acknowledging them. Like, you're like, fuck it, I can't do no wrong. When you're self-confident, I feel like when you're self-confident is a balance. Like, like, hey, I'm that guy. But at the same time, I have my faults, I got stuff I got to grow on.
Right. It's always room for improvement. Shit like that.
I feel like, but being like a narcissist, I feel like that stems from being like, you want to be a perfectionist, you want to be perfect everything. I had that issue. I want to be a perfectionist, but I'm not a narcissist though. You can be a perfectionist but not be a narcissist. I feel like if you're a perfectionist and you have a narcissist, that's a bad combination. Like, you can't. That takes a whole lot to fix that.
Right.
Cause who would you say right now, like, just think about like anybody like in the real world today, who would you say is a narcissist? Like, who would you think is a narcissist?
I don't know, man. Who would be a narcissist? I don't fucking know. Like, who you think?
For me personally, let me think.
Because I don't really know. Like, I don't know these guys personally.
I don't know, but like,
I know them for their social image. So like
basically, like based off of that, not like
yeah, knowing them personally, but based off their like social image.
Who would you think is a narcissist?
Shit, somebody who thinks that they can't do any wrong. Fuck, I don't know, bro.
For me, I fool with Drake, but I feel like Drake's a narcissist. You don't agree?
I mean, I don't know.
When you see Drake, and when you think of Drake socially, like, what do you think? Do you feel like the way he carries himself, do you feel like he can do no wrong?
Yeah, probably.
Think about all the beefs he's been in. Do you think he feels like he's ever been the wrong one in those circumstances?
Probably. You're probably right. You're probably right too.
And I'm saying, like, just because of that, like, I'm not saying I know Drake personally or anything, but like,
Right.
from that, you don't want to be in that situation because then, like, you know how the media is. The media's gonna spread everything they can to throw you down. You don't ever want to be caught in that situation where, like, your own self perspective can cause controversy. Because for me, I try to stay out the way of all that. I try to stay in my own lane. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And being a narcissist, that kind of brings unwanted attention, but you kind of want the attention though. But narcissists low-key want the attention.
Yeah.
And that's an issue that we have.
Mm.
Think about how many people on social media, they just be wanting attention just because they want it. They be doing controversial stuff just because they want the attention.
Facts. But I mean, like, well, I'll say this. Because I'm a nigga who be on social media doing controversial shit. So, like, but it's a reason why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it more so for, like, the attention. I understand that I need attention to get my point across. Like, so, like, I understand that we have to do controversial shit to get attention so I can get my point across. You feel what I'm saying? Because niggas not going to listen if you don't do nothing controversial. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people are attracted to, like, that negative energy, low-key, or just, like, controversial shit. So, like...
Well, you mean controversy? I don't think the stuff you do is really controversial. It's just something...
You ain't seen the new shit we've been on.
Oh. See, I've been out the loop, man.
We've been on some bullshit lately. I ain't even gonna cap.
See?
No cap.
Well, I mean, like, my thing controversial is, like, I feel like controversial things, like, some things, like, still stating your opinion, and some stuff are just, like, you know, you purposely bullshitting. That's how I kind of mean by current controversy. Like, controversy is, like, you doing stuff knowing, like, you gonna upset this group of people.
Yeah.
To, like, cause a riot or cause, like, a big old mess.
I might be on that, so I might be a narcissist. I might be upsetting people from the things that I say, you know what I'm saying? It ain't intentional. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
Yeah, we got the freedom of speech. It just depends.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm
you
just
know,
saying,
like,
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying how I feel in this current moment right now.
Now, that's the next thing I want to talk about. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, there's a fine line between freedom of speech and hate speech. You know, like, you can say what you want to say, but you know when you're trying to say something to specifically target somebody to make people feel bad.
You been saying that Andrew Tate shit?
Yeah, no.
How you feel about that
R.I.P. my mans, bro. He's not really my mans. I don't know him. I don't listen to his stuff, but, like, some of the stuff he was saying, like, I feel like he was trying to get his shit across, but sometimes, you know, bro, the saying stuff to get them clicks, the clickbait, you know what I mean?
Just like I said earlier, man, you gotta do controversial shit to get the attention. This nigga went up in like 4 months, bro. This nigga went up,
at the
bruh.
same time, you know, like, some people, they be saying that because they don't really believe it, but that nigga was believing the stuff he was talking about, though.
Nah, for sure. He probably was.
Talking about choking females, like, I don't condone anything he did violence against women. But bro he was on some nut shit, okay? There's a way you can disrespectfully disagree with your female without you choking a female out.
I feel like, this is what I feel like. I feel like Tate probably like be on a lot of that shit, but I feel like he is selling that shit too. Like he is like.
But the thing is, you don't really know because the way he
The way
carries
he said
himself on the camera, you
Yeah.
don't even, like, you can't tell, like, from his
tell.
body language, like.
You can't tell because
he's
a good actor. I feel
he's
like
a good actor. Like, I've been trying to read his body language on some stuff. Even the clips I've seen, like, I've never sat down and watched a whole like video
Tate
from
shit,
him.
yeah.
But the clips I've seen, bro, the way he be talking, the way he be carrying himself, that man look like he really truly believe everything that be coming out his mouth. And that's a scary thing. That's a scary. When you get on that type of level, bro, you really unstoppable, bro.
Yeah.
Well, he did get canceled, but you know what I mean. Like, no one can shake your mind off of that.
Right.
I bet even though he did get canceled, he like,
He don't
bro,
give a fuck.
he gave that apology, but I thought that apology was capped.
Yeah. He just did that just so he can get back on the platforms and shit. Like, so he can keep pushing
his
that
band cut down, his band time cut down.
Yeah.
But once you get in that, like, unstoppable mode, where you in that mindset, it's like, bro, no matter what I say, bro, no matter what controversy, what pushback I get, I'm not standing off of that. I'm not
stopping.
That's the dangerous person, bro.
That boy locked in, boy. Shout out Tate, man. That boy locked in, man. I fuck with Tate. I ain't gonna lie. I say I at least fuck with I fuck with his business model.
I feel like he was really like, for me, he was trying to be like Kevin Samuels, RP.
Yeah,
but, you know,
it's
but
the
like,
same type of shit.
But it was just like, I feel like, for me, I respected Kevin Samuels more than I did at Andrew Tate. Because Kevin Samuels, like...
He was on bullshit too, though.
Okay, but the thing is, people was more pushing, like... Kevin Samuels getting more pushed off the hate he was like, or like the stuff he was saying about females, but he was giving dudes pushback too. Like, he was giving dudes pushback, like...
I mean, Tate do too. Like, that's what I'm saying. You ain't really tapped in on it.
I'm not tapped in.
I've been doing mad research on... I've been watching hella Tate shit. I ain't gonna lie. But, like... I fuck with that nigga Tate, bro, cause like the shit he's saying is like.
But was he giving more pushback on females more than dudes?
He be talking about niggas too. Like he be saying like, man, y'all boy. He's like, y'all think that like you can get a woman like, but you can't really have like a woman or like multiple women, you know what I'm saying, if you're not at a certain level in life, you know what I'm saying, whether that's like financially, you know what I'm saying, emotionally, all that shit. So like he do goddamn be on niggas too.
And
but,
I feel like that's the kind of thing I want to teach. That's like what we're trying to do here on Control the Tide podcast. You know, we're trying to teach you how to level up. You know, you don't want to stay where you've been at. You want to be 10 years from now being the same person you were. You always want to grow. Even if it's on a small step basis, like we was talking about last episode with a set of small goals for yourself. You always want to grow up. You always want to get to that point where you're just like, I can say from last year, I've been a totally different person.
Nah, facts.
Even like in the past couple weeks and months, it's like, for me, just learning, doing what I'm doing in school, just even like going to even like my sessions with my counselors, it's like I've grown. I see things clearly now. Like
yeah,
for me, like I
niggas
always
having
kind of had, like for me,
clairvoyance.
I've always had that like that affinity. Like for me, I've always had that affinity to try and read people, but like I could say these past couple months, even this past year, I've been like I understand who I am better, and that helps me understand who other people are.
Right.
Like, I see things more.
Right, niggas clairvoyant, man. No clap. You know what I'm saying?
W plug. Go listen to Clairvoyance by
Hey,
Stone
man,
Cold.
shameless plug, you know what I'm saying? Clairvoyance out right now. Me and my boy Jody Destock dropped the hardest project. I don't even think we dropped that last year.
But tap in on that.
I don't
though.
know,
It's
tap
on
in,
Apple
though.
Music and all other.
Shit hard.
It's on other music. It's on all other music
All
platforms
platforms,
too.
man.
All right,
Every
tap in with
platform
that.
that you can stream music on.
Is there anything else you want to bring? Any topics you want to bring up today, Stone Cold?
Damn. What else can niggas talk about?
Oh, I was at the movies recently.
Mhm.
You know how we was talking about Oppenheimer today?
Yeah.
They showed a whole trailer for that movie coming out next year.
Oh, some movie coming out on that nigga?
About him, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I said we finna make a movie on this nigga.
'Cause my cousin, he had watched the
How he destroyed hella people's lives.
bro. I can say with science, bro. let's talk about that. When you doing any kind of scientific studies, bro, that could always get turned around. Like, how can we weaponize this, bro? He probably was even trying to do that. I don't really know. I had to get back in. I used to want to be a history major. If anybody want to know, I wanted to be a history teacher.
Yeah.
But I switched it up. But I still love history though. But most people who do scientific studies, that junk usually starts off for a good purpose, but then I junk always get flipped to like, how can we weaponize this? How can we make money off of this?
Oh God.
Cause war is all about money. Let's be honest. War is always about money or land. Something that has to do something with financial security.
Oh God. You see, they just weaponized COVID. We ain't want to talk about that though. We ain't trying to get canceled.
My boy with the conspiracy
We
theories.
can goddamn get into that though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on another platform. But hell yeah, man. Motherfucking.
Well, we're gonna be back with another episode on Control Tide Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe. We're gonna keep dropping some more gems for y'all next week. Make sure you tap in with any of our other things with our Stone Cold vlog.
You know what I'm saying?
He's been up to something, his reggae festival vlog, even
We
when he's
got
at the
hella shit.
UGA,
UGA,
Oregon
Oregon.
tailgate. You know, tap in with those.
We got
you
a
know
lot
what
of shit
I'm saying?
coming, man. You know what I'm saying? We have an overflow of content. You know what I'm saying?
Abundance, you know what I'm saying?
Abundance. You know what I'm saying? We just some abundant niggas. You know what I'm saying? Walking in favor and the blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit all the way up. You know what I'm saying? You see the wave on my neck. You know what I'm saying? You see how the fuck we coming. You know what I'm saying? Everything wave. You know what I'm saying?
We create
Hey,
the wave. We control the tide too. You know what I mean?
Make sure you niggas eat you some fruit. You know what
And
I'm
drink
saying?
some water.
And drink some water. You know what I'm saying? Cause all that fried food, that Popeyes chicken.
And get
shit,
outside. Get
man,
outside.
you fucking
you
your
know?
arteries up. You know what I'm saying?
Get
So,
outside. You know what I'm saying?
Get you some vitamin D. You see where we at. You know
Some
what I'm
vitamin
saying?
D, you know,
some
from the
fresh
sun.
air. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Get you some of that inhale, exhale. You know what I'm saying?
This has been a good episode of Control Tide Podcast, episode 2. Validation comes from within. Tap in with us next time. Peace.
Yeah. Bitch.